her life, sitting in a neighbor's den, shuffling marble tiles around a tabletop. I am a master of the art of conflict avoidance. I bob and weave, nod, sidestep, smile, hope for a way out. But when the conflict is directly in my path, I try to go straight at it. Lance the boil, we say in our house. Not to mention that if I gave Meg that extra hour, she would never forgive me. I called her. I need you to come home, I said, in as even a voice as I could muster. Is everything okay? I wasn't about to tell her over the phone that the light of her life was missing. I need you to come home, I repeated. On a very cold night of a very cold winter, our 21-year-old son Max walked off an ice-slicked pier onto the surface of Lake Ontario. We, my wife Meg, his sisters Sarah and Elizabeth, and I, presume that he walked until the ice gave way beneath him. We don't know. We will never know. An eyewitness saw him get out of his car, an 11-year-old SUV that once had belonged to his beloved grandfather, and walk onto the pier. Law enforcement eventually spotted some of Max's belongings near the end of the pier, on the solid surface of the lake. And 8 weeks later, the 4th week of spring according to the calendar, Lake Ontario surrendered his body. It would not be much of a whodunit. Those are the facts that we know. He left no note. Max wasn't much on communicating. I keep trying to catch his eye is about the death of my son Max, the grief that engulfed our family, and how I learned to coexist with that grief. I will not be so presumptuous as to include here how my wife and our 2 daughters have dealt with their grief. That consideration is pretty rich, given that what I do for a living as a journalist is become presumptuous enough to write a story and explain someone I hardly know. But, and this will not be the first time you hear this in this audiobook, little is more personal than grief. All grief is personal, and all grief is as individual as the person doing the grieving. Love is personal too, and there's certainly no shortage of writing about love. As I wrote, I began to understand that grief, if you get past the awkward social construct that American culture has with death, is the purest expression of love for someone who is no longer here to express it back. We mourn the deepest for those whom we love the most. We view grief warily, as an alien force that invades us when we are at our most vulnerable. I'm not going to pretend that I didn't suffer greatly when Max died. I'm not going to tell you that I didn't ache, that I no longer feel a void. But as I learned how to go on with my life, as I wrestled with and tried to make sense of my pain, I began to see the direct correlation between the love I had for the son I lost and the depth of my pain. My grief. Grief is love. For many years, I traveled on fall weekends with a small band of 6 to 8 sports writers who covered college football nationally. One of them, Chris Dufresne of the Los Angeles Times, married a woman I went to college with, Sheila Young. On those autumn trips, Chris brought with him an encyclopedic knowledge of the sport, a genial outlook, and a wicked sense of humor. He could be as funny in print as he was in person. The two don't always equate. We ate a lot of meals together, carpooled on the road to a lot of games.